And devotees heartfelt blessings. Best example is Mrugari and Prahlad Maharaj. Both received, they attained perfection by the blessings of Narada Muni's, by Narada Muni's wishes, they got the perfection. Amazing. So, in other words, we should get Krishna's mercy or by devotee's mercy. I have a question for all of you. How do we, let us see, how to get devotee's mercy or Krishna's mercy?
By serving the people.
The easiest answer is serving. But yes, any other? Let me see.
By following their instructions.
Pleasing Krishna, Prabhuji, pleasing whatever service that we are doing, we have to do it exclusively just to please Krishna and Guru, Prabhuji.
Devotees also,
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, very nice. Anybody else?
By following their instructions, Prabhuji.
Following their instructions, yes. Usually Guru only gives instructions. A Guru also gives general instructions. No offenses. That's what we are going to see today. No offenses. And one is doing service with a motive to please them. Yes. No doubt. Yes, by rendering, by following their instructions, by not displeasing them actually. Especially when we are around pure devotees, we should be very careful. What is that? There is a sage by name, how many of you know Dhaumya? Let us see.
He was the guru for the Pandavas.
Yes. Dhaumya was the guru for Pandavas actually. Very nice. Thank you, Ma. Is it Anjali Mataji? No, Pushpanjali Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Done with Prabhu.
So, yes, by his service, there is a disciple by name Upamanyu. He pleased his guru. I mean, not in terms of bhava bhakti, but Dhaumya was very pleased with the behavior of his disciple. He said, all the Vedic knowledge is revealed to you right now. And that's it. Vedic knowledge is revealed. I graduated the same day. In our words. So what is that? By doing difficult services, by executing very difficult services, actually pleasing Guru is not easy. Especially when you're in the association of senior devotees, we have to be very careful. As I'm speaking, I'm recollecting all the nonsense things I did, in the association of senior devotees. And sometimes I feel, my so-called progress is restricted, I think. Then what happens? You become a Vacha Vedanti. You speak philosophy-based reading and, it's very easy, just read and speak, right? Anyone can do that. But there is no, that's why Manasiksha Raghunath Goswami says that. There is, what is that? If you cross these impurities, lust, anger, envy, greed, pride, then, the last stage, what is the donkey urine? What is the donkey urine? Even if you're following the process, attending Mangal Arati, chanting your rounds, you're trying your best. But if the behavior is not proper with the devotees, then what happens? The bhakti door is locked up for us. We may be there. You know? But then what happens? We like, it is like Saraswati Thakur explains this story of marriage party, they had to cross the river and go to the other side of the river and attend a marriage. I mean, the groom was in the bridegroom was in the boat. But whole night, they all got into the boat, and next morning they had to reach the other shore, and then they had to attend the marriage. So they all got into the boat, and they were all talking. Finally, it became early morning. They have not reached. Why? Because this boatman anchored the boat, but he forgot to remove the anchor. So maybe the anchor rope is very big. So I saw, he's rowing, and because it's night, everyone got a feeling it's going, but it's not going anywhere. You're listening? Bhakti is simple, not easy, right? So Bhakti Saraswati Thakur says, sometimes we all start from the same Bhakti Ruksha. Sometimes we all start from, we may be initiated on the same day with another devotee. But then what happens? After a few years, wow, wo to ekdam kafi aage gaye wo. He has gone very far, amazing. Why? Somebody is stuck with a long rope of attachment. Somebody is stuck with a short rope of attachment. Because if you have a long 1 mile rope, honestly speaking, when the rope is going, it's going. After 1 mile, stops. It's very important. That's why one has to be very careful with the devotees. So anyway, sometimes I feel fortunate are those who don't go close to the fire. Fire of Guru. Guru is like fire actually. Prabhupada, spiritual master. It's better we stay far. Everyone is listening.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So yes, Prahlad Maharaj and Bhagari, they received blessings from Narad Muni, and they attained perfection. They went to the stage of Bhava Bhakti, Hare Krishna. So what are the characteristics of somebody who is on the stage of Bhava Bhakti, ecstatic love? Can somebody read the first one? What is the first one?
Avyartha kala.
Important. A person who has attained the stage of Bhava Bhakti, he or she does not waste time. Avyartha kalatvam. Avyartha kalatvam means no prajalpa, no wasting of time in mundane things, gossip, I'm not wasting of time. My time is Krishna's time. Can somebody read this? Or I think, am I holding reverse?
Our time is precious.
Oh, wow, you can read it, Amma. Our time is precious. Amazing. So, yes, in other words, we should not sit and talk hours and hours and hours. We should not waste our time. We should not waste others' time. Can somebody give me an example? What are the different ways we waste our time and we realize time is wasted?
Social media, Prabhuji.
Social media, nonsense. So what is the moral? We should not no social media from today. Second,
Prajalpa, Prabhuji.
Prajalpa. Prajalpa, sometimes it will become offensive actually, You talk about somebody else. Why? Why should we talk about somebody else? They are like that, 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 they are like that. Why? If you want to glorify them, glorify them. Actually, Bhagavatam says that don't glorify others, don't criticize others. But of the two, first one is okay, glorifying, but not criticism. But as much as possible, you should not glorify anybody, you should not criticize anybody. Glorification means unnecessary glorification. Unnecessary glorification means you want something from them. So one day Vaisesha Prabhu was reading this verse in Vrindavan. Did you see gurus coming to everyone? There are 100 people in the call. She is excellent. B is excellent. C is excellent. D is excellent. No. Hare Krishna. Their goal is to focus on Krishna. Prajalpa is dangerous. Very nice. Third one. Prajalpa, yes, no doubt. And social media, no doubt. Cell phone itself, actually. We talk long hours. Newspapers. Some of you agree for sure, or maybe it may not be in the call today. We talk to India, hours and hours and hours. I mean, if you need something and you get some solace, there is nothing wrong talking. But in that also no prajalpa. Can anyone add one more thing which we should cut down so that we make sure we utilize the time in a nice way?
Prabhuji, TV, watching TV.
Abominable. Watching TV, watching TV, let me tell you. His Holiness Radhana Swami says, a pregnant mother who watches the TV, and the baby in the womb who does not know anything about this world, the waves, the brain waves, what mother is, the TV waves, and what mother is grasping into the mind, they enter into the mind of the baby also. And they make us dull. They make us dull. I mean, they make the baby dull. They make us dull. Along with the TV, there are so many advertisements. They tell you what to buy, what not to buy. Hare Krishna. And even after 20 years of chanting Hare Krishna also, you'll remember that movie. Probably hero and heroine might have died also. They might have become old also. But that is there stuck in your mind, those impressions. So we should never do this. So what is that? What is that? TV, movies, long discussions, phone calls. I've written a book and I mentioned all these things. I really don't know when it will come out, but I have a question for some of you. Let us see. Let us be honest. Somebody says, you went there, it was amazing. I heard recently, children, for the sake of children should watch the social media. Children should watch these movies for them to eat. Children should watch cartoons. They are turning on the TV for children, and unknowingly parents are also watching. Anyone heard of this? Or you're part of this? So it's actually Maya will somehow catch. Maya has that power somehow. No, बच्चों का चाहिए ना, otherwise they don't eat, because you have to feed the child. You will also sit, you will also sit and watch. I'm not watching, but I have to feed my child. Did somebody hear about these things? Huh?
Anand Vrindavan Prabhuji in his lectures is that in name of them going, because they cannot even completely say no to kids, otherwise they will become they will become not favorable to Krishna consciousness. For them, at least we have to give some freedom. In that way, we might also get carried away like that.
No, giving freedom to children is definitely, if you don't give that freedom, what children will do? They'll go to neighbor's home and they'll watch TV there. You have to, no doubt. I think it's a vicious cycle. I can understand, but nobody's speaking. Is this type of problems anyone of you encountered in the past? Or encountering now? Huh?
Yes,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, this is a very big hurdle to me, because when we take kids to big cities where there are temples, Prabhuji, their senior devotees also ask kids that, is your mom allowing you to watch movies, or is your dad saying no to the movies? Their intentions are right, Prabhuji. I'm not blaming that. But can you please talk on this little more elaborately, Prabhuji? Because I am facing this problem with Tulasi, Prabhuji. Because by senior devotees asking kids, I feel that I'm talking to Praneshwar Prabhu, that are we doing something wrong? Because she is 9 years old, Prabhuji. She started asking me that, Mama, they all are very, Maharaj comes and stays in their home. Prabhuji is asking, what is wrong in watching TV? So what should we answer, Prabhuji? I mean, this is a big, I'm thinking that when you come here, I should really talk about this to you, Prabhuji. If you can talk about this little elaborately, Prabhuji, it will really help us, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Amazing. Wow. Anyone wants to add anything, subtract anything, or ratify this? Nobody. I know it's a vicious cycle. I mean, for myself as a monk, I face this problem when I sit in the flights, but the easiest thing I do nowadays, probably a couple of years ago, rather than becoming so foolish, I am purchasing the front ticket. The most, I was so, what do you call it? Can't use this miserly, right? But then, what is a penny wise and pound foolish? you know, whatever the seat they give, you sit down there, and then if you don't watch your TV, you have to watch 10 screens around you. One good thing is while coming back, flight is usually midnight, you'll sleep. But how long can you sleep? So what I would do, I would get up early and I would chant my rounds, and all the heroes and heroines before they get up, They are warriors actually. अरे जीवन मतलब भोगना है. You know, at 1 o'clock also they eat pizza, pasta, and watch intense movies. One day I saw I'm sorry, I should not make this Nectar of Devotion into a regular thing. One child was crying. The father was drinking actually alcohol. The child was only 1 year old. So the mother, she was frustrated actually. So she took him around. Finally, she brought and sat down. How long can she hold, right, this flight? The mother was a little off guard, father was also. This boy picked up that can and he drank it. Mother looked at the father looked at the mother. Arangetram is over. Inauguration is over. Means what? At the age of 1, he started. So mother is looking at the father, you are the culprit, not me. Father said, he smiled. That's okay. Actually, parents pay why I told this example is you contribute 50%. The village contributes, it takes a village to grow the child. It takes a village to grow the child. But parents contribute 50%. For sure. Parents means your home environment. It contributes 50%. But let me tell you, there are other devotees also, children. There are big counselors in India. The children never come to temple. They hate to take part in this. It's a vicious cycle. It's not easy. I don't know whether there's a forum. Because, what is that? Honestly speaking, watching these movies and TV is worse than illicit sex, actually. But because we are Kali Yuga, we are all the recipients of Kali Yugas. We are disgrace, not grace. Some things you have to accept. One time I told Gaur Gopal Road, probably 2011 or 12. At that time I went to Middle East. It became too difficult for me actually. He said, I can understand, that's nasty thing, So anyway, coming back to the Mataji's question, thing is, senior devotees, they speak like that. It's sad, but you have to make sure your child doesn't go out of way. That's why if you make them a devotee and if they make them chant rounds, that is the best thing. If they actually, recently I told one devotee, Amarendra parents used to show Amarendra Gaurama Prabhu's videos and he become like this. Amarendra parents' ideal person is Gaurama Prabhu and they wanted Amarendra to become like Gaurama Prabhu. This was very clear to them. And that happened after 20 years. Amarendra chanted 64 rounds and he's a preacher. Frontline preacher actually, probably the most successful person in ISKCON on planet. So rather than, we should not give our children just enough bhakti where they don't get into bad habits, but they become very successful in the career. If that is our mentality, I think we are wrong. But at the same time, we should not neglect kids also. One time, this father and mother, they would come to Chowpatty temple and they would attend Mangal Aarti. And the boy complained to mother, you paid more attention to Krishna than me. So what we have to do is, their counselor told them, don't come to Mangal Aarti, stay home. That's fine, we are okay. We are okay, stay home. We are definitely okay with that. Bringing up children is also part of your bhakti. This I'm talking about grosthas. So we need to invest on them. We need to invest on them, and you have to be careful. But if they can on their own resist, that is great. Honestly speaking, I don't have any shortcut solution for this. Senior devotee should not tell like that, because you are doing it, you want the whole world to do, that is wrong. I mean, the simplest answer is you parents know the mentality of children. As much as possible, when they don't know anything about and they don't know anything in the childhood, give Krishna as much as possible. Once they grow, let them decide. Amen. Whatever I'm talking is theory, and you're all doing the practical. That's what I can speak.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I got it. I got it, Prabhuji.
No, but thing is, what is that? And I'll give you my example. It has become a little better now. India, everyone loves movies. I also used to go a lot. These friends would take, India, because not like America, alcohol, nothing. They're not available. Even if they're available, it's not. Somehow it's not good. Smoking and alcohol, all these things. But the movies are allowed by everyone actually. But then what happens? Very, especially Indian movies, they promote subtle sex, illicit sex in a very subtle way, and these impressions, they'll get into your mind. And you cannot remove them. And if you really ask me, a person can recover from alcoholism or smoke. I don't know about smoking and alcoholism, of course. But the movies, they promote illicit sex in a very subtle way. I mean, because that type of things don't happen in the material world. And if you see, if you just record that movie and play in your audio, there is a music. And the dialogue delivery also, like, what is it, boyfriend, girlfriend speaking, one way of dialogue delivery. And there's a music behind it. Only to ingrain them on your mind. Otherwise, who will see? That's why this movie is the Kali's best weapon. Movie is Kali's best weapon actually. But if you think it, you are a victim of it, we should not make our children victim of it. In the flights, usually, I would do this. I'm honest, I would close my eyes and open eyes, and you'll watch it for 2-3 minutes. Yeah, no, this is not good because I'm a preacher now. Then you'll close your eyes. How long can you close your eyes? Then he says, all the screens are on. This is a Maya's den, the flight actually. Right? Anyone has experience?
Yes.
And you see that. And unknowingly you'll watch 3-4 minutes. And sometimes you close your eyes. Then you say, what happened later? What happened there later? Wow. Unless you genuinely develop taste for the holy name, taste for the bhakti, you cannot do this. This is what's called weakness of the heart. Hrudaya daurbhalya. You know it is wrong, but still you'll do it. And this is not alcohol, this is not illicit sex, this is not this is not smoking. Anyway, I can just 5-10 minutes, half an hour. Why not?
I agree to it, Prabhuji.
But that will promote strongly illicit sex. Ah. And who are the victims of these movies? Youth, actually, youth and children. Yeah? In fact, practically every movie, every industry targets youth because they're vulnerable. They're gullible. No? I mean, parents who are very resolved and parents who understood this is bhakti is the goal, and they want to protect their children from the onslaught of material nature. And what they have to do is, as much as possible, they should restrict. But if children are going to neighbors' homes and watching it, it's all difficult because you need in community one family. And they will, that's it. They will ruin everything. Because it's community. Then I told this devotee, try to make your son like what Amarendra parents did for Amarendra, do it for your son. That way, Amarendra is very successful. He also has masters. He also has engineering and 2 masters. Even if he doesn't join full time, he can get a good job. He's very successful materially also. Right? Actually, let me tell you, chromosome theory, especially Indian parents in America, they are intelligent. Every father and mother is intelligent in America. I've seen that. A class. I mean, there is no shortage of intelligence and hard work. And America, American competition is not, it's not so high. Indian competition is high because everyone is intelligent there. 1 billion, more than 1 billion population. That's why our children perform very well here. Spelling bee toppers are Indians. Anything topper is Indian. All the top-notch company CEOs are Indian. Means it is there in Indian blood. Hard work, intelligence is there. But now we are not talking about that here. We are talking about bhakti here. So if you can develop, if you can make our children develop a taste for bhakti for what they do, and you are successful. Then actually one time Rampat Swami said this. If you can bring, it's an investment to bring the child from Raja to Sattva. It is an investment. You need to work on it. But if you think it's a waste of time, and the trouble they give on Sattva Rajo, first of all, it takes much more time to solve those problems they create on Rajo. Second thing is, your child will never, if they don't come to Sattva, they will never take up usually bhakti. That's why it is an investment, he said. I really like that point actually. I want if you're understanding.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, with that being said, I can tell you, usually girls are very good. But when girls cross the lines, Hare Krishna, they cross in such a bad way. Boys are usually Rajo, means they're prone to crossing. But if the children grow up in a very bhakti and environment, I have seen boys are also Sattva. Born in the kids' family, devotees' families. They play Mridanga, they're really they're really amazing actually. Our Kadankan Prabhu's son, is 13-year-old, is chanting 16 hours for 4 years. Wow. Many times I mentioned it, you all should hear that. Though it's a Nectar of Devotion class, it's becoming a regular Bhagavad Gita class, but I'm okay. You're all okay with this?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
No names, but one devotee said, you should give children something when they come, that way they'll become attached to you and they'll develop faith and respect, that way you can preach to them. Otherwise, once the children, they go to college, they cannot connect to us. If they cannot connect to you, then it's a problem. And what he did, he brought lollipops. I said, look, this is not a... But anyway, he brought it very unconsciously also. That's how Maya works actually. I didn't pay so much attention to it. So the boy, it worked. The boy would come, I would give him a lollipop. He would come, offer obeisances, Sashtanga Pranam, full obeisances, and you take the lollipop. But you know what, maybe some festivals, he got used to it. and it's working. But in my mind, it's not prasad, it's outside. One day he brought it, then he got it, the other children saw that. They started coming to me. It's fine, that's what we want, right? I started giving to everyone. I don't know, Ramkumar was there in the collar and what. So then, then what happened? Then the children started coming. It's like there's a queue, we have so many children, right? I started giving, and other children started peeping into the room. Kya chal raha idhar? But then I said, it's not good. And then I went outside. I was giving it to everyone. This only okay, children, right? No problem. Our, Nainsudravad is on the call, Divatirtha Nainsudravad's son, Mukunda. I gave it to him. He looked at it. I don't want it, he said. I mean, at that age, this happened like 2-3 years ago. At that time, I don't know how old is Mukunda. I don't know. How old is Mataji Mukunda now?
He's 8.5 now.
He's 8.5. That time he must be like 5.5, 6 months. 5.5 that time, 3 years ago. He said, I don't want it. And he was with Ramkumar's son. Ramkumar is there in the call. Let me see. Not there, maybe. It's not there. Okay, no problem. So, Ramkumar's son, Kishore was looking at me. And then I said, Kishore, you want it? So, Mukunda held the hand of Ramkumar's son. Kishore was looking at me. Then I asked Kishore, you want it? He said, no. There was no firm no, but there is a rejection. He was pulled into that, but said no. I said, wow, at that age, you're able to resist the temptation? Great. Means they're able to discriminate at that age. That will, these are the tiny things that will carve out their future. As long as they don't become proud, Krishna actually, even if, what is that, because of devotees' parents' prayers, and because they're also their 5-year-old, their Krishna conscious means they're coming from previous life. Wow, I was impressed actually. Then I told her, look, this is not good. You bring Mahaprasad from downstairs and put in my thing. I'll give Mahaprasad. I'm fine with that. So the point I'm making is a person can discriminate, discern at that age. Great. Anyway, I told this. I want to tell you some more things. Recently I mentioned this, but some of you should know this. What is pleasing a devotee? I have tiny examples actually. But they are really, really wonderful examples. This year, last January, I had to go to India. My mother was very sick. So, devotees, I went to Sri Gopal's home. I finished the program. Devotees came to know, I would go to India very soon, less than 4 or 5 days. Everyone started giving me, what is that? They're giving like Lakshmi here and there. So everyone is giving an envelope. I said, I was taking it actually. But then, I said, it's 11 o'clock, I should go. They came and sat in the car. And then somebody, I think maybe Vaibhav had to drive me or what, I don't remember, but I think Vaibhav. Anyway, I was talking to somebody. It was January month, January, February, Michigan. Then our what is that, Radhika, Sri Gopal's daughter, she came out. She was holding something. I have an idea she was holding an envelope maybe. And she was jumping in the air. I spoke for 2 minutes and I wait. I think she may be waiting for me. And why she is jumping? Actually, then I opened the car door and went outside. Radhika, you're looking for me? She said, yes. What? I want to give you this envelope. And then I said, why are you jumping? And then I saw she didn't have socks. And it was freezing cold. She was jumping in the air just to protect her feet from, it was very cold. She wanted to protect her feet. But she wanted to give this to me because she knew I would leave. Honestly speaking, I mean, these are one of the few moments in my life. I mean, I have to be, there's when love is not a one-way traffic, actually, it is both ways, I was, wow. Thank you, Radhika. Of course, parents, one-way reciprocation, but children, that's how, it'll touch your heart, actually. And I went, so of course, Pranish Prabhu and Prince Sundram was there also on the call. And I went, 4 or 5 months ago, Oklahoma. It was late, already 11 o'clock. Then I told I have to sleep tomorrow. My flight is that I should be in the airport. So then our what is it, Tulsi? Our what is it? Pranish Prabhu and Dunsin Mother. Tulsi came. Dunsin Mother's daughter came. And she came with what is that? She was holding a piggy bank. It must have weighed at least 2 kgs. She was holding all these coins that she has deposited in that piggy bank, only to give it to me. And Mataji and Prabhuji, they came and this is for you. That is it. It happened, these 2 incidents happened this year only. I said, who told you? I mean, what made you decide like this? And the Mataji said, maybe she has seen others giving it. And she brought Krishna. I mean, honestly speaking, we had gulab jamun, rasgulla. It is little happiness. Practically every sensual pleasure, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj writes, it's a raw feeling. It's a feeling of ego, actually. You have enjoyed something accomplished. But it's actually, what is it? What do you call it? Maya Sukhaya. That is the word, exact word. What is that? It's a Maya Sukham. It appears it is there, but it's not there. But when your heart is touched, I mean, I cannot tell what you all devotees do. I'm very, very inspired. Honestly speaking, there were times I was attacked by Maya continuously for years. No. I have to stay and fight and overcome. There are devotees, who love me left and right. Love me, unconditionally, not left and right. I'm sorry, unconditionally. I have to set an example for them. So in fact, that made me continue all these years. So even actually, what is that? What is that? Yesterday I was reading Gopal Champu for a few minutes, and there I was reading, gopis. Krishna would go to pastures, and gopis would glance there, for a few seconds. Gopis want to talk to Krishna, and Krishna wanted to talk to gopis. But the elderly people, this is India 5,000 years ago. But there is no lust there. It's just pure love. Just glance. Then our, what is it? Rohinandan one time he said in the class, I remember that. When I was reading, I remember that. They would just lift the veil and side glance. They would watch Krishna go. That's why Rupa Goswami says, what is that? Why the word, what is that? This word is used. Kama snehad vayad krodhat. With the gopis, the word kama is used. But there is no lust in gopis love. Why? Then many times I meditated on this actually. Why should they use this word? Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is also using that word. When he is discriminating, when he is differentiating between love and lust. But Rupa Goswami writes, lust means you want to enjoy that intensity. With that intensity to serve is there in gopis. But because it is that much intensity to serve is there, the word is used, but it is only love. So, wow. It made sense to me actually. So, what is that? That is it. You know, I mean, those of you parents, you know, but I should not give the material things, but you know, because we are talking, of course, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we should not correlate with material things, of course. That I will not, of course. So, Avyartha Kalatvam. Avyartha Kalatvam means one should not waste time. I remember one thing actually. One time, I vividly remember this. I saw Rampaswamy, I drove him from Pittsburgh airport to New Vrindavan. Then as soon as he got in the car, he started running. You know, during this 2 hours of drive, he was just talking. I mean, he was working. You know, he's one of the, you know, gurus of ISKCON, prominent gurus of ISKCON. And he was also he was holding very prominent position one time in America, you know. So during the drive, he was actually talking, you know, to his, you know, he was working. But as soon as, you know, he reached, he closed his computer, he opened the door, he jumped, and he ran to his room. So he'll take care of my luggage, yes, Maharaj. I said, wow. Then immediately I said, we are the Kalatam, he doesn't want to waste time. And you know, I saw this. Today I was telling somebody, you know, yeah, one should not waste, it is Krishna's time. You know, all the spiritual masters, that's what they would not waste time. It is Krishna's time. We have to make progress. For example, today is 6th, and you know, August 6th, 10 o'clock is gone forever. We can never see August 6th of 2020, 10 o'clock again. It's gone forever. Many times in the metalists, they compare the time with money in the metal world. But little did they know, this money will not come with them. Like we play in the childhood business and buying all this, you know, different cities. After a few hours, mother will say, tomorrow your exam, band karo. Chalo. So you put everything in the box and you will go for studies. And you have not really purchased that city, the city, airport, post office. No. This world is also like that. People buy apartments. Somebody told me this Prabhu purchased 12 apartments. So what is the use? But of course, you know, you need, if you're a grahastha, you need to maintain, no doubt, it's important. So you need to make a living, no doubt. But that should not, whatever our making of living, if you utilize in Krishna service, perfect. And if you're so wealthy, there's nothing wrong in it. As long as you utilize it in Krishna service. Otherwise, that will become your detrimental to bhakti. You know, your life, you know, people who are very rich, millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires, you know, they have to, I don't think they have time to even enjoy, you know, because always they're in anxiety, you know, this business, how to balance the business, manage the business, you lost this much, oh. But real Abhyartha Kalam means utilize in bhakti. Utilize in bhakti. Just bhakti only, because that's the only thing that will come with us. Nothing else will come with us. Nothing else will come with us. You know, reserved and preservant. Any questions on this Abhyartha Kalatvam? Anyone wants to add anything on this otherwise?
Prabhuji, can I ask a question? Prabhuji, if temple meetings are very long and they like relate for all the departments together, and if we think there should be separate meetings for each service, so it doesn't waste our time, you know, is that justified, or we should just still think that it is for Krishna the whole?
You're slapping me actually, you know, because I do that many times. But recently I was realizing, you know, Amma, if there is a better idea, suggesting the management a better idea is never wrong. You know, why not? You know, But if the temple management feels everyone should hear what's happening, there is a reason for it. Yes, because they cannot update 10 departments 10 times. That is also there. That is one reason they call everyone. But I attended GBC college where they said there should be an agenda. Without agenda, the meeting can go somewhere actually. Some new talk will come and they'll talk. So there should be an agenda, address the items of the agenda and go forward and finish it. So if management is calling everyone, all the departments, that they may have a proper reason why they are doing it. If the reason is justified, fine. If not, you can suggest it. But let me tell you, I'm also involved. People should be, all departments should be aware of what's happening. Otherwise, it may create confusion. You have done this for them, you have not done this for me. That's maybe one of the reasons why they involve everyone. But not necessarily all the time. Big festivals, yes. But on day-to-day, maybe you're right. But definitely they should come together also. But I cannot, both are needed. That's what I've said. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, very balanced. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective. It helps me understand.
Kshanti. Anyone wants to add anything, or we'll go forward? Reserved and perseverant. Parikshit Maharaj. You all should know this verse. Actually, what is that? Let me bring up that verse. Parikshit Maharaj is telling, Kshanti means a tolerance. What is it? Kshanti means a tolerance, quality of Brahmins. Kshantirarjavam evacha. Maharaj Parikshit, he is listening Bhagavatam. He became so absorbed in Srimad Bhagavatam from the lips of Sukadeva Goswami. He developed this quality. That bird, Takshak bird, may come and bite me and put me to death. Or, what is that? You all accept me as I'm surrendered soul of Krishna. Mother Gangas, because they had this conversation next to the bank of Ganga, Suktal. I pray that Mother Ganga also accept me as a surrendered soul of Krishna. I request you all accept me as surrendered soul of Krishna. Soul surrender to Krishna. I request all of you, let the Takshak bird may come and bite me. But I want to just hear the glories of Krishna. Tolerance. I can show you that verse actually. 1:19:15. Can somebody read the translation? Tam mopayatam pratiyant vipra gange cha devi tritachittamishe niyapasrishta kuhakas takshakova and dasatvalam gayata vishnugādha. Who will read the translation, please?
We can't see.
Oh, you can't see?
We are seeing
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see, Prabhuji.
Oh, hold on, please, I'll share. Okay, what do you see now?
we can.
So who will read the translation?
Shall I read it, Prabhu?
Please.
O Brahmanas, just accept me as a completely surrendered soul and let Mother Ganges, the representative of the Lord, also accept me in that way, for I have already taken the lotus feet of the Lord into my heart. Let the snake bird or whatever magical thing the Brahmana created bite me at once. I only desire that you all continue singing the deeds of Lord Vishnu.
So, so because Maharaj Parikshit is so resolved, so absorbed in the lotus feet of Krishna, he was not scared of death. This all happened because of that. So many devotees, 60,000 sages assembled. Maharaj Parikshit understood. He has only how many days? 7 days left. So, so what he's telling? So perseverance means there is a difficulty, but you'll continue doing it. You'll persist. That's what's called tolerance or perseverance. Everyone is listening? So he's telling everyone, please accept me as soul surrendered to Krishna. He resigned everything. He gave up his family, he gave up his wife and kids. I have only 7 days left. He's fortunate, he knew he has 7 days. How many of us know we have 7 days? हमेशा हम सोचते हैं कि ना बहुत टाइम है मेरे पास. पर नहीं, धीरे-धीरे. Recently what I did, I took a pen out, and calculated. How much time? Probably, let me calculate. And with my age and if I think I live this many years, 80% of life is over. 80%, only 20% left. How many of you experience in the exam hall? Last half an hour. Last half an hour? Then you'll, what you will do. You'll just go back and you'll see where, how you have done, what you forgot. Yes or no? So likewise, 80% is over means what? You have to focus on Krishna only. Some people know for them 80% is over. Some people don't know for them 90% is over. So, so what is that? Perseverant. Perseverance is important actually. Persist. This is real, you have to persist. Maybe difficulty. Whole world is against. That's okay. So, Parikshit is the best example. Then what is another quality of Bhava Bhakti? Virakti. What is another quality that is in Bhava Bhakti? Virakti. What is the opposite of Virakti? Virakti means attachment. Sorry, Virakti, detachment. Opposite of Virakti is Asakti. Or Rakti. Rakti is also, attachment. Asakti. Actually, Rakti, Virakti. So, hey, you're going, and what is that? Somebody plays, you see somebody playing cricket. And you'll watch cricket and you'll start chanting your rounds. You see somebody playing tennis and you'll stop, and because it's attracting your attention. And somebody is watching news. And you will also take part in that. How is the score? What is the news? India kya chal raha hai? You have some interest in it, asakti. You have some attachment in it. How many of you agree? Because these are not bad actually. And your intelligence and your mind will defend it. अरे मैं तो मेटल वर्ल्ड में जी रहा हूँ, तो मालूम होना है क्या चल रहा है करके. I should know क्या चल रहा है. I should know what's happening, right? So Maharaj Bharat 5:14-43. Let me that's this is a nice verse actually. Maharaj Bharat, what he did, he just gave up. Because of his attachment for Krishna, what he did, he just gave up everything in the prime life. You got everything in there? Then prime youth of life. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Who will read the
Yes,
translation?
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I can read.
Please. Please.
Thank you, Prabhuji. While in the prime of life, the great Maharaj Bharata gave up everything because he was fond of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Uttama Shloka. He gave up his beautiful wife, nice children, great friends, and enormous empire. Although these things were very difficult to give up, Maharaj Bharat was so exalted that he gave them up just as one give up stool after evacuating. Such was the greatness of His Majesty.
Bhagavatam is comparing that with the stool, Hare Krishna. Means that much he could give it up. When we evacuate, we don't look back what we left. Similar thing Maharaj Parikshit did. Atmaja Yasdagara Pasudravana Bandishu Raja Chavikalaricham Birudam Mamatam Jahav. These are, honestly speaking, attachment to these 7 things creates stress. What is that? What creates stress? 7 things. 7, let us see how many, 7 or 9. Atma means body, mind, and soul. If you're attached to body, any problem comes on the body, stress. Prolonged illness creates stress. Jaya, something happens to the wife, spouse. Prolonged suffering of spouse will create stress. Sudha, anything goes wrong with the children, it will create stress. Agara, your home, something goes wrong with your home, you're stressed out or at least worried. Your car, something goes wrong with the car, pasu. And you have problem with finances, you don't have enough money to buy, that will create you'll keep on thinking about it. Relatives, anything goes wrong with the parents, anything goes wrong with in-laws, you're stressed out. And something goes wrong in the office, arey boss bahut taklif de raha hai. How many of you agree? This time, what are the things I said? They will build stress on you.
100% agree, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
But Maharaj Parikshit, because of his attachment to the Lord's feet of Krishna, he could just give it up in 1 second. And similarly, 5th canto, and there is same similarity. Maharaj Bharat also, because of his attachment to the Lotus feet of Krishna, Uttam Sloka Namayat, he gave up the same attachment to all of them, and he resigned and went to the forest. But see how powerful is Maya. अरे ये सब कुछ छोड़ दिया बट उधर फंस गए. किधर फंस गए? Deer. So Maya is always doing overtime to catch Hare Krishna devotees. Is it easy to give up all these things? Means he is on the Maharaj Bharat is on the stage of Bhava. He loved Krishna's Lotus feet so much. He was so much infatuated. Why people join full time? Usually, there may be 101 reasons. But why people continue? Joining may be various reasons. Continue. I love to serve Krishna. I may not be there yet. I can't imagine my life doing something else. If you develop attraction to that, or things related to doing service to Krishna, if you're attracted, you will not give it up. That is a sign you are making progress. What is it called? First of all, what is that? What is our Maharaj? What is his name? Gaur Govind Maharaj says this. Prabhupada says this. You are not interested, Prabhu. That itself is a sign of progress. You are being not interested. But of course, you get strength by it. By being not interested. You should utilize that strength in bhakti. Then only you'll be able to serve Krishna on the altar, or the services related to Krishna consciousness, like preaching, everything. And you'll put your heart. One lecture I heard, it said, I mean, I read Journey Home, I translate, that's why I knew practically every part of it because I put so much energy there. One place he writes, His Holiness Radhana Swami writes, he was just like 19-year-old child and 19-year-old youthful teenager, but he just came to Europe to see all the he wanted to learn the world through seeing. Those days, actually in 70s, it was common for people of the West to travel and learn. So he came to this Europe, and he came across this one beautiful girl. Actually, she proposes. She's a saint, and she's a saintly lady. And he says, and now she writes a letter to him. He was at the crossroads now. Very wonderful, beautiful, girl proposing. She's telling, we'll together do bhakti. Like, brahmachari, somebody wants to join full-time, parents, this is what they do. You get married, and you can get married to somebody in your own tradition. You can look for a devotee and be okay with that. So parents will come up to that much. So then she says, I'll wait for your answer tomorrow. He read the letter. And in that he writes, she has all the good qualities anyone would expect. He was, he just started searching for God. Not that he had no idea that one day he would meet Prabhupada also. One day he would go to India also, he had no idea. But then he was divided. He was divided back and forth. And there he writes, when he was scratching that name, tears fell down from his eyes. Then, he had to go through some encounter, nasty encounter in Middle East. Then he writes, I think I had a strong, intense desire to serve God. That's why I think I rejected her proposal in Europe. So in that early morning, freezing cold, a desire came up to dedicate my life to serve God for the rest of the life. And utilize this powerful energy. Everyone has lust, but I want to utilize it in the service of God. I want to utilize full time. I want to become a celibate monk and utilize it in Krishna service. As moon was setting in the mountains of the Middle East, Afghanistan, a desire arose in my heart to dedicate my life to serving God. That is one reason why I think I did not know that time yet, but I think I just said no to her. So the point is, people, you may join for various reasons, Grihasthar Brahmachari, but you will continue. You cannot continue that attraction for Krishna, for serving Krishna actually. But if you continue, what is that? That attraction will make you continue. But one has to make sure Maya doesn't remove that attraction. That's why to continue, you need to have realization. You need to have realization, the temporary nature of the material world, the eternal nature of bhakti. Then only you will develop virakti, but virakti it comes only by Krishna's grace. You're all listening or not?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
It is very, very important actually. Without having any attraction, namesake, you cannot do it. You cannot continue bhakti for a long time. So we need to have Krishna's grace to continue. Some grace, honestly speaking, real grace is not a green card and citizenship. It is grace, no doubt. But real grace is, with all the impurities in our heart, Krishna is allowing us to continue. That is the biggest grace actually. Though you're doing smalls, you may have offensive behavior, you may have what is that? Things that are, you may have some things in your mind that are detrimental to bhakti, still you're able to continue day after day, month after month, year after year. You should know Krishna has full grace on you. Krishna is allowing you to continue. A person, that person is actually fortunate. Things may not happen the way he wants or she wants, but he is actually putting his finger on the bead bag and continuing month after month after month, year after year, year after year after year. That one should know they have the big care, they have the biggest support from Krishna. Krishna is telling, oh, if it's Krishna means Guru and Krishna, of course. Then eventually, what we will do? We will develop all the another nishta, ruchi, bhava, ruchi, asakti, bhava, sthai bhava, prema. They will happen, but stay in the process. So detachment from the material attraction. If that is not there, kidhar to fas jayenge aap, what is that? This watching movies is exactly like, I'm sorry, but I want to tell this example. Should I tell this example?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Jamadagni's son is Parasuram. So Jamadagni, he does yajna every day. He does yajna every day. And Jamadagni wife name is? What is the name of Jamadagni wife? Renuka Devi. So he told she has to, as a wife, she has to arrange everything. She has to, all the, she need water, because Jamadagni would do fire sacrifice every day, every day. So what happened? Renuka, the mother Renuka, she went to the river to fetch water. Then what happened? There, I forgot the king's name. He came with his queens and they were taking bath. Huh? It's Kartiriyarjuna? No, it's not Kartiriyarjuna. So Kartiriyarjuna, that's the episode with involved with the so, but this king, he was taking bath. There is some like amorous pastime actually. This wife and husband, there were so many queens and husband, they were taking bath, they were very rich people, he's powerful. So this Renuka, she picked up water and she was gazing at it. Gacha lag raha hai. She's feeling good about it. But here, Jamadagni is waiting, but wife is not coming. She had a grown-up son, Parashuram. Then she came back. Jamadagni can read the minds. So he understood. Means, it's. I mean, honestly speaking, she didn't do anything wrong. But this is not Kali Yuga. This is other Yuga. Yeah. So the point I'm telling is, as long as we harbor our, we encourage and harbor impurities, Maya will pull us actually. But unlike that, Maharaj Bharat, he developed virakti. I don't need. Then I want to serve only Krishna. Bhaja Vasudeva. So, and the next one is Manasunyata. Manasunyata Lal Babu or Lala Babu. We'll discuss pridelessness. Amazing story next week. A little late. It's already 3:20. Thank you very much for your time, and please forgive me if I've spoken anything wrong. I am really, really good for nothing guy. I liked that line of what is his name? Krishnadas Karaj Goswami, warm in the stool. Realizing my all the weaknesses and all the faults within. But thank you very much for coming and listening and doing sadhana together. And going forward on the path of bhakti. Any question or comment? Otherwise, we'll end it right now. Hare Krishna. If it's, I think it's late, we'll end it today. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Grandaraj ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Prabhupada.